from the Razor's Edge. I'm here with Johannes from Avatar. It's great to see you guys back here after quite a long hiatus. How are you feeling about being back at Bloodstock?
Great. Actually, it turns out that once we started to talk about it, that we had a lot of memories from being here. So a couple of things happened. I remember meeting Floor Jansen for the first time here, just bumping into each other and befriended each other a bit. I remember Tim drinking 6 to 8 Red Bulls. Idiot. And I remember the actual show, which of course got filmed, so now it's out there forever and stuff. And just a trip here. There are a lot of details around this that turn out, oh wait, this was one of the special ones, turns out.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess, because we were supposed to play that 10th stage, but...
You got bumped to Maine, didn't you?
Yeah, because Graveyard cancelled.
Yeah.
We got there, we didn't realize, this is how naive we were. We didn't understand, because we would play late, it will be dark, it will be our show. And then they're like, hey, great news, we can give us this. And like, no, we don't want that, we want to do that. Like, oh, either you do that, so you're fucking out. Oh, you bastard. And then we came up, oh, so this is what a main stage is. Cool, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of things have happened this past 8 years, and our first taste of important things happened here at Bloodstock, actually.
Yeah. So the last 8 years, how do you think you guys have evolved as a band? Because it's a really long time, and the sound has changed, doesn't it? Like most people do.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of fundamentals that came into play prior to coming here, that we kind of lean on that philosophy to this day, which is just, I don't know, when we grew up, when we started, because we started so young together and we've been essentially the same guys, more or less. And those who weren't the same guys, we still knew. Like Tim was a friend before he was in a band. So we go way back, and as such, at some point, we just, redefined for ourselves, or clarified for ourselves what metal should be. And then once we keep that fundamental in place, then we allow ourselves to be very eclectic with where it can go. But those fundamentals are there, and that kind of journey we're on, where we are this metal circus, a band that don't give a damn and do whatever we want, and very unapologetically so, being just pushing the envelope all the time of what we can be and how we can afford. It's an ongoing journey. So, I mean, obviously a lot of things have happened. Avatar Country happened in between, and all that madness, but also Hunter-Gatherer and the dead seriousness of that. And we made a film, we toured more. There's a lot, concept albums and shit.
And you talked about pushing that envelope, and that's really important, I think, isn't it? We're really good in the metal world at labelling people and pigeonholing them. And I think it is important that bands like yourself talk about, actually, let's push our fans out of their comfort zone and get them listening to different things.
And just exactly, because there are a couple of things like that I see where I feel like we are doing, in the context of what we're doing, I realize that there are also ambulance drivers and teachers.
Yeah.
So in our little microcosm and just importance of things inside of this, in that sense, I feel the importance of what we're doing is combining, two trains of thoughts, I guess. We don't want to be retro. We don't want to be that metal that forever sounds like all of our favorite bands already did and do and are better at than us doing. We want to take that to places it hasn't been yet. Now, at the same time, there's a lot of that going on, and a big chunk of that going on, I feel, also loses the plot in terms of treating heavy metal as dance music. Jump, bang your head, mosh, crowd surf, run, lift, get pregnant, do things, do things music. Metal is not meant to be heard sitting down, shutting up. Simple as that. And I feel when it gets too convoluted many times, I feel we sometimes lose the plot on that, and it becomes too again, it should sound like, I don't know where the language barrier is here, the parameters. So I try to speak in euphemisms. Yeah. But it should be about impregnating, not self-pleasuring, as far as a musician go. And that interactiveness.
It's music to be lived to, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And therefore the groove, the drive, the everything. And of course there are amazing bands in the past, all of them. In the present, tons of them.
Yeah.
Gojira, straight out of from the back of my mind, this one that comes up all the time as an example of this. But there are many. Or Bloodwood today. Got to catch them a little bit.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've listened a little bit to them before, and now I'm gonna only listen to them for a while, I guess. So it's out there and it's happening globally, which is even more important.
Yeah.
And all that, but we combine those two attitudes. Where we don't, like metalheads, we are already so damn smart. We don't have to show that off all the time, That's not the job.
Yeah.
The job is, screaming for vengeance.
No, definitely. You mentioned Hunter Gatherer, so that's been out. Have you had much time? You haven't had much time to tour that. So how does that feel being here today and playing that material off there live to your fans?
Feels older than it is in terms if you count gigs.
Yeah.
But we toured it enough to that. The also thing is that at home, so pandemic happened. I don't know if you noticed, but we couldn't tour for a while. And we started to write.
Yeah.
Kept right at it, and got to dwell really deep into it. Obviously, less distractions. And did a second Judas Priest reference in this interview so far, but I mean, this is our British steel. We cut off the fat. It's our best work ever. It's laser focused, sharpest blade ever forged. So, because artistically, the fact that we did put it out despite the pandemic, didn't wait, meant we could, as artists, let it go. And as then showbiz artists, we have toured it a bit. We have done the videos. We have lived it, not to the full extent we would have liked. It's out of our hands, out of anyone's hands, but enough to feel like we got to do that statement and we're ready for the next thing. And now we're extremely excited for the next thing, which is early next year.
Brilliant. So what are your plans after the summer festival season? Is it back to writing or more shows?
We're gonna finish it off with, we will open for Iron Maiden in Brazil. 3 shows, so going to Brazil, bucket list. Iron Maiden bucket list. It can be overstated, Of course, we're in England, so you would know what Iron Maiden means. But there's something to be said about Iron Maiden's place in Scandinavia, what they mean to us, and what they meant for our age, because we were exactly the age when Bruce Dickinson came back and Brave New World came out, and that whole thing, and that's the first trip we took as a band, where as teenagers was going to Stockholm to see them. It cannot in any way be overstated what it means to us and people around us as Swedes. But then we are well aware about that relationship that Iron Maiden also have in Brazil. And Brazil and metal, and we feel kinship, although we've never been there as a band. So two bucket list items. It's not a double. It's bucket list squared. Is what it is. So that's amazing. But after that, there's a lot of office work and stand in front of a camera work, and someone do your makeup work and stuff like that needs to be done for the album to come out early next year. So the focus is on that and some family matters.
And you mentioned a lot of British bands during the interview. You've mentioned Judas Priest and Iron Maiden. Do you find British bands are influencing you still now?
I'm sure if I have to now think, because the beautiful thing is, there used to be that there were some strongholds, one in Florida, one in the Bay Area, one in Stockholm, one in Gothenburg. Everybody loves the bands from Birmingham from back in the day. It used to be like this, and it simply isn't anymore.
Yeah.
We got Ukraine, we got New Zealand, we got France, we got Brazil again now with Crypta, for instance. It's so global that I'm sure I've been listening to something in English and I can think that, they're English, because it's not that thing anymore. Just as we are a band from Gothenburg, but we're not one of the Gothenburg bands. If you are to be one of the Gothenburg bands, the way we read about them, you have to have been at some point played little league football with my brother-in-law in a town called Bildal. But I didn't. I'm too young.
Yeah.
So we are more, I feel like, part of this movement of, I don't know, we had broadband when we got into metal.
So it's a newer wave then, isn't it? Because the world, like you quite rightly say, it's opened up dramatically.
But it's rather than one wave, I guess it's all these tiny little currents that creates a maelstrom that pulls you under. It's something more chaotic, global, in a beautiful way. And again, Bloodwood, India, there's another one.
Exactly, it's opening them up to a whole new audience, like you and I.
Exactly.
So
there's all of this, and we get more and more of that now, I feel. And it's about time, because metal and hip-hop probably the most, because there's a language barrier in what hip-hop is usually, but it's one of the, it is metal. That is the greatest global spanning subculture in the sense of just Well, for one, how it can always integrate with what you get in you aside from, from heavy metal and electric guitar. You always get that folk influence or that local flavor of it in different ways, and it just travels, and it's this cultural melting pot in a way, and how the audience also pick it up immediately. Oh, they're from India and it has a weird ass drum, that's so cool, yeah, we're up for it, teach us, and that everywhere all the time. And I feel we are somehow part of that eclectic insanity going on now. So we finally found our scene when we used to feel outsiders. And just that scene is everywhere at the same time in a way it's never been.
Well, we're going to look forward to seeing you later, and thank you so much for talking to you today. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.